How's everyone doing? Luke back again because hip-hop drives culture, and it's time for a review of this relatively new, because I've been slacking, album from Pivot Gang, You Can't Sit With Us. So this idea of rap groups is nothing new to the hip-hop scene, but it seems like today hip-hop groups are as plentiful as ever, with some of these groups spanning entire labels. Like, just take a look at TDE or the smaller subset Black Hippie. But as you move across the landscape, you come across the Beast Coast, which are a collection of even smaller groups, or ASAP Mob, or the SOB RBEs, because there are a lot of advantages to moving in a group, right? You might have some members who are better at production, or better flow-wise, or better with lyrically, and to appeal to a wider mass, you need this collection. Or to even just curate a sound that fans can get familiar with, it takes a group effort to curate that. But turning to Pivot Gang, the group under question right now, this is probably the best group that you've never heard of. At the head, we have Saba, whose Care For Me received tremendous critical acclaim from me and from bigger publications because of how introspective and how transparent he was emotionally and how much he was willing to say on each track. It was also very concise and narrative and focused, and it was just a overall cathartic experience for Saba, and just it resonated with his fans so much. But if you knew Saba going into this project, you know his style in a way. A lot of his beats are synthesized but have like piano backings, and lyrically he's pretty topical and focused. And if you just like follow him on Instagram for a day, you'll see he's always on the road with an MPC making some pretty soulful beats with whatever synthesizers he has at his disposal. And that does carry over into this project because he is the head of command of Pivot Gang. But everything that we know Saba to be lyrically kind of gets thrown to the wayside for this project, in this group dynamic. Unless you've come across Saba on a Sway in the Morning freestyle where he's just spitting a stream of consciousness, to hear Saba just playfully rap is kind of shocking for some people. Don't be surprised, this man can pretty much do it all. And just to give a little backstory on some of these characters, because their personalities shine throughout this entire project. Joseph Chilliams is probably the flamboyant, most personable of the bunch, whose lyricism ranges from the most obscure TV and video game references to like borderline whack. And Day Day said on the Nyla Simone show on 101.5 that they actually have to pull Joseph back on a couple of his lines because they're just either too whack or they just like make absolutely no sense.
We just do what we want to do. Like, you know, Fresh know he could do what he want to do. Mello know what he can do. Joe say whatever he want to say, and we let him rock. You know what I'm saying? We let him rock for the most part.
Yeah,
you know,
for the most part.
Sometimes
it's a little too much. Definitely got to reel him back.
Sometimes we gotta step in and just be like, Joe, I don't really know if you can say
maybe
that.
On your own song.
It's interesting because sometimes it works in his favor, and like I hinted out before, sometimes it just completely flops. When it does hit, though, you can feel a range of emotions from just like a mere chuckle to just like, wow, that was incredible, like that is so creative, and I think that is the genius of Joseph Chilliams' pen. Mello is the nonchalant one of the bunch, kind of like too, I wouldn't say too cool. He definitely, his personality and his persona is much more laid back rather than the boisterous, colorful one of the bunch. He is very versatile in that he can rap as Saba and Joseph do on the project, and he can rap poetically like Fresh Waters does. So he's a real middle ground and best of both worlds within the group dynamic. Fresh Waters will be the poetic one in the group, and then Day Day and Squeak will be doing the production. Right off the bat on Death Row, we start to get a sense for what this project's going to entail. And we get some of Joseph and Saba's best bars.
Slaughter everything like the Mad King, keep my circle tight like new braces. Calling for retreat, running for the trees, you don't with Pivot, you racist.
Hair looking like I've been in Jamaica with my girl, Will and Jada. Told me break a leg and I amputated, I don't need luck. You can save your congratulations, by the way, I'm on my way up.
We got to understand the like playful, sit around this table, freestyle aesthetic that this album has, where the group itself has created a space where anyone in the group can say whatever they want, and there are no repercussions or judgment. It kind of speaks to the Mean Girls inspired title that I'm gonna guess Joseph Chilliams had some say in. Moving on to tracks 2 and 3, Colbert and Mortal Kombat, we can see how the playful nature of this album might actually work as a detriment to the group, because lyrical standard for quality fluctuates so rapidly from verse to verse. You get lines like this.
Hey, wake up like this every day, the day done. Yeah, check the news, the black and white, the penguin. Hey, I'm just busy chefing like I'm Raekwon. Hey, no, I got your back like they from State Farm.
Or this.
I'm still that kid, that's what real live. Got the password to it, like I steal Netflix.
Then you start to understand that, like, you shouldn't really be taking this album so seriously. Not to say that Saba doesn't kill some of these hooks or that the melodies are poor. It's just that it just rubs me the wrong way, and sometimes it's hard to digest what they're actually saying. Track number 4, Hero, was a standout moment for me. Right off the bat, Saba hints at that emotional turmoil that always pervades his music. Fresh Waters kills it on these bars.
If you ain't ate, better get the lunch. Most of y'all deaf time to listen up. Before it's too late, finna run it up. Ain't no run it back with the run up.
And Mello's verse is pretty sick as well. I'm not going to go into that. I hope I'm not fast forwarding too far, but track 8, Clark Kent, was also a standout moment for me. I think Joseph Chilliams' odd bars once again come through when he says, "Move that like a realtor." That was funny. I like Saba's Smino-inspired flow on the outro of his verse, and I think Mello killed it once again. Listening to this album, it's so satisfying because of how far Mello has progressed since his melodramatic days. Tracks 10 and 11, Edward Scissorhands, the flow was really unbearable. Mathematics falls into that same category when they start using circle dimensions like radius and circumference for lyrical content. But the outro, Carnival, is a huge moment for me. I think the outro is a real embodiment of what this group stands for. I was so happy to see Sylvan LeCue and Benjamin Earl Turner show up and show out. I think their voices and their sounds cater to what Pivot Gang's trying to do, and it was really an all-inclusive effort from everyone who shows up on the outro. I think overall, You Can't Sit With Us is a great embodiment of what this group stands for, with some great features and performances from Fresh Waters and Mello, who don't usually get the spotlight and attention that they would normally get. And because of Saba's recent success, it's really endearing to see how he's using his new notoriety and attention to lift up and get his clique involved. Then again, I don't think this album has too much longevity because of the ailments that I hinted at before. It's too playful at times, and other times there's a combating of different ideas and vibes within tracks. But overall, it was a really enjoyable listen. For Pivot Gang fans, this is something that might stay in your rotation for a while. I know it might stay in mine for a little bit. It was really enjoyable to see everyone come together after they've been hinting at a collaborative project for so long. And I'm happy to say that Pivot Gang is a force to be reckoned with, although they might just be a bunch of dudes spitting some inside jokes with each other. I think it isn't too niche that we can't jump in and laugh along with. So out of 10, I'm just going to give this a 6. And for a plug, follow me on Instagram at bars hip hop and on Twitter at bars HH. And I'll see you guys next time.